The Holocaust and religious persecution. This group activity is not required. You can take a virtual tour of the Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial or visit the memorial in Boise. Here's the website. There's an extra credit assignment of 10 points. Please look at the extra credit in the assignments. The Holocaust. The Holocaust was a systematic, bureaucratic, state-sponsored persecution and murder of 6 million Jews by the Nazi regime and its collaborators. Holocaust is a word of Greek origin meaning sacrifice by fire. The Nazis, who came to power in Germany in January of 1933, believed that Germans were racially superior and that the Jews, deemed inferior, were an alien threat to the so-called German racial community. Nazis persecuted and killed the following: 2 out of 3 of the 9 million Jewish population of Germany, 200,000 Roma or Gypsies, the physically disabled population, between 2 and 3 million Soviet prisoners of war, the non-Jewish Polish intelligentsia, homosexuals, others who did not meet the prescribed social norms, political opponents, religious dissidents, such as Jehovah's Witnesses. This happened starting in 1933 and continued until May 7, 1945, when the Germans surrendered. Anne Frank. Because the Aryan nations were so active during a time when the traveling exhibit about Anne Frank came to Boise, a group of citizens decided to make a permanent exhibit in Boise. The Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial is only one of 2 in the United States dedicated to her memory. See the Anne Frank brochure and links to the Wasmuth Center for Human Rights. Aryan Nations. The Aryan Nations were founded by Richard Butler in 1978. He created his own Christian church in Hayden Lake, Idaho in 1973. This group believed the Aryans are the true chosen people, Jews are imposters, the offspring of the devil's union with Eve, and non-whites are subhuman. They became a top white supremacist group in the 1980s, but declined because of internal dissension, actions taken by law enforcement, and when skinheads and neo-Nazis, unpredictable, used alcohol, drugs, and violence, began to attend their congresses. This group was very active when a traveling exhibit about Anne Frank drew visitors to Boise, Idaho. Idaho became famous for not only potatoes, but also Aryan nations. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Article 18 states, "Everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom either alone or in community with others, and in public or private, to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance." The United States Constitution, the First Amendment. In the First Amendment, the Establishment Clause and the Free Exercise Clause make this possible. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. International Religious Freedom Act. This is U.S. foreign policy from 1998. To express the United States foreign policy with respect to and to strengthen United States advocacy on behalf of individuals persecuted in foreign countries on account of religion, to authorize United States actions in response to violations of religious freedom in foreign countries, etc. And also to condemn violations of religious freedom and to promote and to assist other governments in the promotion of the fundamental right to freedom of religion. United Nations. There is a special appointee on freedom of religion or belief. He's an independent expert appointed by the United Nations Human Rights Council. The mandate holder has been invited to identify existing and emerging obstacles to the enjoyment of the right to freedom of religion or belief and present recommendations on ways and means to overcome such obstacles. Mr. Ahmed Shahid, Special Rapporteur on the freedom of religion or belief. A CNN report. The U.S. slams China, Turkey, Saudi Arabia for religious repression. This is from a U.S. Department of State's International Religious Freedom Report from 2016. These are some of the things that were noted in the report. In 2016, China continued to physically abuse, detain, arrest, torture, and imprison Tibetan Buddhists, Christians, and other religious minorities. The Turkish government continues to curtail the rights of non-Muslim minorities. In Kenya, human rights and Muslim religious groups reported that some Muslim communities, particularly ethnic Somalis, were the target of government-directed extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, torture, arbitrary arrest, and detention. Saudi Arabia arrested and imprisoned people on charges of insulting Islam and practicing sorcery. Further from this report, religious persecution and intolerance remains far too prevalent, Tillerson said. Almost 80% of the global population live with restrictions on or hostilities to limit their freedom of religion. Where religious freedom is not protected, we know that instability, human rights abuses, and violent extremism have a greater opportunity to take root. We cannot ignore these conditions. What about religious persecution? What is a possible ethical decision you might need to make regarding religious persecution? Who are two of the most important stakeholders in this issue? What are their possible cultural frameworks? What are their possible ethical frameworks? What are possible solutions to this issue? This is something for you to think about. Here's a TED Talk video with more information if you want to spend time reading the transcript or watching the video. It's called "It's Time to Reclaim Religion," and the speaker discusses how religion should be a source of comfort and a source of help to those who are being persecuted rather than a reason for persecution.